Collective, welcome, welcome. I'm Nikki, your local vegan tarotist. Yes, I look probably exactly how I feel, but we're going to get this message out, all right? So today we're going to read for the Lovers, Gemini energy, and also the Magician, right, which is mercurial energy, right? So if you are in some phase of your life, maybe you have, or you or your person have strong Gemini placements, something could be happening for you in this connection in Gemini season, or you could be in the energy of the Lovers, which everyone here is probably in that energy because you're looking for your lover. And you are alchemizing that. You're alchemizing that love through the Magician energy, through the throat chakra. Now, I've talked about this before. Just had this conversation a second ago about making a list. All right. Mine is my capital MAN manifestation list, right? What characteristics do you want in your partner? And not just what characteristics you want in them, but be as specific as possible, right? There are billions of us here. Do not go chintzy and laxed with this process. This is something where you can be as specific as possible. And you have to remember when you're alchemizing through I am statements, through affirmations, that you are worthy of the love, that you are the love that you are requesting, that you are calling in, that you are attracting. And I think most importantly, particularly for feminine energy, part of that list, a major component to that list should be how this person makes you feel, how you feel around them, right? Do you feel safe? I feel safe with this person. I feel at peace with this person. I feel joyful. I feel childlike. I feel, happy, whatever it is, whatever that you, instead of saying what I don't want in a person, say what I do want in a person, what I do want from the connection, things that you want to alchemize together with this person, creative endeavors, work, passion projects. If you want a family, be real about it. Right? Like if you want children or you don't want children. If you have children, like these are major factors. These are the main deal breakers in connections. And these are the major stressors that will break a connection down that is not grounded in compatibility, right? If it's not grounded in truth. So make sure that whatever list you make, whatever you're trying to alchemize, whatever you're affirming and calling in is rooted in truth, not in what you don't want, right? You take what you don't want from other connections, other experiences, and you turn them into what you do want. Because if you say, oh, I don't want someone who's narcissistic, I don't want a narcissist, I don't want an abuser, I don't want someone who has children, right? Then guess what you're going to attract? You're going to attract, it's kind of like, I've always described it as like being on a mountaintop and you're hollering across to another mountaintop, and it's like the other person can hear the echo of what you say. So you're like, I don't want a narcissist, right? You say that and you're like, I don't want it. It's very adamant, but by the time it gets to them, all they hear is narcissist. So that's what the universe is hearing. They're just hearing the echo. It's almost like they're hearing just the root of what you're saying. So that's why it's important to affirm what you do want. I want someone who is unattached. I want someone who is open and ready for love, right? Versus I don't want someone who is guarded. I don't want someone who's emotionally unavailable. You get it. I'm just going over and over it. So hopefully there's something that makes sense to you there. 6 of Cups, soulmate energy. You're attracting your soulmate. You're calling in someone who's going to make you feel truly loved and nurtured in a way that you've never been nurtured. You're probably a child of chaos. Maybe you were neglected, rejected. Somebody could have maybe not known a parent or not had like a parent as a constant figure in their life. And that created some sort of fracture in your heart chakra. Your heart chakra. I was going to say heart space, and then I said heart chakra. And that always irritates me when people mispronounce it. I'm always like, it's chakra. So, whatever. Maybe somebody's like, well, that also is like, make sure that you are being, somebody could have like a a name that could be pronounced multiple ways. That's pretty specific, but I feel like this is somebody they put a lot of importance on words. Words are very important to this person or to you. And so that tells me that, when you say something, you mean it and you enunciate it and you're very clear about it, and your communication skills are like something that you've probably developed quite a bit. Maybe you had a fracture in your throat chakra, and so you weren't able to express your truth, which has stopped you. It's hindered you from alchemizing from a place of truth because you were always reluctant to speak truth into the universe or to the people around you, right? That's like the parent who's like, what are you feeling? What's going on? Tell me what's happening. You tell them and then they use it against you. All right. And then that's the type of lovers that you attract. That's the type of friends that you attract, right? That's the type of jobs that you give your energy to. Things that are not rooted in truth, because your truth was never nurtured. It was never something that was held in a place that, like, your truth was never told. This is, when I say truth, that's your inner child. The Six of Cups is the inner children. See, there's a little boy, little girl giving flowers. It's rooted in something that's emotionally golden, right? Golden light energy. And so it's like your inner child was never held. You were never held, and you never had a space where you could really live in your heart space. You could have a lot of water placements in your chart. Three of Cups, this is somebody asking for a date, a celebration. You may meet this person at a celebration. They might invite you to some sort of celebration. You might be out celebrating with friends, celebrating a job promotion or a divorce or whatever it is you're celebrating. You're celebrating some sort of ending / beginning. Scorpionic energy. Also Aries, right? And then we have the Three of Wands. This is starting a new path. Yeah, I feel like you meet at a place where you are in, one or both of you could be in like a simultaneous transition, right? You're going through some sort of ending. One of you could be leaving a job, the other person could be leaving a relationship, right? It's like, and you're starting something new. There's a move here, right? The Three of Wands is about a move. Somebody could be moving. There could need to be some sort of move, literal move, physical move in order, with the Chariot here as well. Yes, there could be some sort of move, but that is action. So it could be energetic move, or it could be a literal move involved here that's going to make space for this connection. All right. Let's see the feminine. Hanged Man at the bottom, Piscean energy, somebody who's been waiting, I've been waiting for a girl like you to come into my life. I've been waiting. Maybe somebody, I get like somebody who kind of is very playful. Somebody could be very anxious here. The feminine could have a lot of anxiety and they could deal with like mood disorders, or just have like a lot of, they could be very introverted. That could have slipped them into like an antisocial place. There's something about this masculine I feel is more extroverted, and the feminine is more introverted and maybe shy, nervous, anxious, especially in areas of love. But they're in bed. And okay, so let me finish one thought. let me finish one thought. Someone could have Virgo placements. As my sister always called it, the way that I talk, the tree. Like I always have a tree where I branch off into a bunch of different places, and then sometimes I'll make it back to the original point. But she would kind of be like, okay, let's get back to what were you saying to begin with? So this person, I feel like they center you. They bring you back to center. And I think they do that by being playful. They're making you laugh. I also had a dog, not October. That was weird. Augie Doggy, maybe? Something about Augie Doggy. If you guys know what that is, like, you old. But maybe like cartoons. There's something kind of playful and childlike about this. They bring out your inner child where you're able to kind of just Be yourself. Be yourself, right? The genie, Cancer, Gemini energy, Robin Williams, also Red Robin, yum. Yeah, somebody could hum or whistle or do something that's like, the dog was August 23rd. That date could be important, but somebody could be like a birthday twin. You could be birthday twins with this person, or like someone in your life could be September 22nd could also be important here. But it's kind of, well, those are both like cuspers, right? Those are both like Virgo. Somebody could have like a Virgo placement or be a Virgo cusper. Anywho, that dog, every time that I would have a panic attack and I would be like crippled with anxiety, he would always come over and like he would like do this funny little dance, and he would roll around and do, and he would always make me laugh. And he was not a licker, but he would just touch the tip of my nose with his tongue like a boop, and it would always just like, okay, I would laugh, and he would just be so cute. I mean, he was very cute. And that relaxed my diaphragm. It got me out. Like somebody gets you out, and I feel like literally somebody could be getting you out of the house, right? And that could be the celebration. Like somebody's getting somebody out of their comfort zone, but not in a way that's like antagonizing to their peace. It's actually bringing them peace. All right. Now I'm getting this show. Oh, 11:33 on the clock there. This little demon here, from the show Evil, there is a priest who is like denying their truth. And, there's one of the nuns there can see demons, right? And she sees it, and it's like eating a hole. It's like living in his rib cage. It's living in his side. It's like a parasite. So you could have some sort of parasite, or be dealing with some sort of like cold, bug. It's all parasites, right? Energetic parasites, physical, digestive parasites. There could be something going on. And see how their belly is like bloated? Somebody could be eating too much or just not eating the right foods. Dining out a lot maybe. Like high fat, which high fat diets will create mucus, which is like, will cause a lot of issues. Anyway, so this is somebody working. Now this could be somebody working out. This could be someone who's taking on a new skill, working on their stability, forging certain, like, and this is healing, like healing through fire. Somebody's gone through like a dark night of the soul. Right? Like the stars there and the pentacles, that's about health and wealth. It's overall wellness. It's the balance of body, mind, and spirit. And that it's healing with the star energy there, Aquarius energy. You or your person can have strong Aquarius energy. And see how when I say that, this is confirming the soulmates, and this masculine is holding a cup like Aquarius does. So this could be a masculine who like held everything against their chest, like guarded their emotions, which, yeah, if you were like, what are you feeling? And then someone's like, that's stupid. Or, twisted whatever you said. And you're like, well, I'm not telling you how I feel anymore. I'm not telling anybody how I feel anymore. This is a masculine who's figuring out how to tell this feminine how they feel. Ace of Pentacles. This is the feminine locked in a tower, waiting to be rescued, guarding their inner princess, right? Guarding their like feminine damsel. This is someone who's like, I'm fine, hyper independent. I'm fine. I can do everything myself. But look how scared it is for a big scary dragon. And that also tells me like they were locked down in like a cave in hermit mode. That's that Virgo energy again. Locked down in a cave. Someone could be the year of the dragon, but there's this star, and see how the star is in reverse? It's like they had to go worlds within themselves during this dark night of the soul. And I'm getting the Hobbit. Like the hobbits, they live this like peaceful life, right? They create this little bubble of peace that's so wonderful, and nothing can touch it, and no harm comes upon them. And then Gandalf comes around and is like, but it changed Bilbo's life to go on an adventure. All right. And not only did it change Bilbo's life, But that prompted the process. So this could be like some sort of ancestral heirloom or some ancestral wisdom that's being passed down, or because you had these people before you that were maybe corrupt in certain ways or operating out of shadow selves, it gave you, like Frodo, the opportunity to basically save the world, right? No pressure. But you're going to be contributing to, because he didn't do it by himself, right? He did it with the whole fellowship. All right. And the fellowship reached out and they got nature involved. I'm getting trees being very important here. Meet Me in the Woods Tonight by Lord Huron. Maybe Lake Huron is important here. Lord Huron is also it's a lake, a lord. So I'm getting like, cups energy, a masculine. I was going to say the King of Cups. Here's the King of Cups. Could be dealing with a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio that is coming forward with this 3 of Wands. Meet Me in the Woods. That's a great song. I love Lord Huron anyway. And there it is, that feminine up in the tower, dissatisfied. Well, I'm just going to, that's that also like that holding your cup to your chest. This is like a feminine who's just like, meh, next, just unamused with the offers that are coming in. So I'm just going to stay in my tower and I'm not going to reveal my cups. Runner, this feminine could have been a runner with the 7 of Wands. Someone could also be a July Leo. All right, let's see from the Van Gogh. Someone needs to stop watching the news possibly, or like go airplane mode, decompress, maybe go get out in the woods, go on a little vacation, go camping, something. The Hermit. Yep, the Hermit coming out. 4 of Pentacles, more Virgo energy. Withholding. This is also like a pre-emperor. So this is a masculine who is meeting this feminine with the 4 of Cups, with their 4 of Pentacles. They had to go learn their worth before they could come in and offer something of worth to this feminine. And because this has taken a long time, because Pentacles are the slowest moving element, Cups being the second slowest, there's a lot of slow energy. It's taken a long time. You may have thought like time is running out. The song by Muse, Our Time is Running Out. Also by Lord Huron, my favorite is When the Night is Over. My one and only love, I've been lonely long enough. Will I find you when the night is over? In every window I pass. It's like somebody has been like window shopping. And it's like, I've been lonely long enough. Somebody's very lonely. But the masculine is here. Somebody could be an artist as well. I believe the lead singer of Lord Huron is a Libra. So we could have strong Libra placements, but Libra coming in is like bringing balance, karmic balance, dharmic balance. I've been lonely long enough. In every window I pass, your reflections in the glass. It's like this person, both of you possibly, you've only seen, and I feel like this masculine, again, they've been waiting for a love like this, for a moment like this. Kelly Clarkson, I don't know her sign, for a moment like this. But they've been waiting, and in all of the connections that they've seen, it's like they only see little fragments, or like little small reflections of what maybe they have a list, right? Maybe they've already kind of said, this is what I want. Maybe they've said it out loud. Maybe they've actually written it down. Maybe they wrote a song about it, right? Something where they have said, this is what I want in a person. And every feminine that they've dealt with is just like, it's not quite it. Ooh. 8 of Wands. To clarify, the 8 of Pentacles. That is action. That's the fastest moving energy, kind of trumping the slowest moving energy. Like, they have been waiting, and they know that this feminine, they have felt it in the ethers. They have felt it in the 5D that this feminine is growing impatient. And they almost kind of regret that they made this feminine wait so long. So you could have known this person for a while, and they're kind of like, oh, you were right there, and I was over here entertaining, shadow versions of myself with shadow versions of you vicariously through these, or like by proxy. Munchausen's by proxy. Ugh, I don't know. Maybe somebody had that experience with a parent, like always was like, oh, they're sick, they can't, and maybe they were like a sickly child, or they didn't get out much. They were like, so it wasn't necessarily that they were truly introverted, and that could be where it like slipped into a antisocial area, because they were not instructed by their parents or by a parent on how to socialize. And with the 3 of Cups here, I feel like somebody's coming out of that hermit mode, and it could be a very long hermit mode, and not just their parent, but lovers may have been like, they could have been with really jealous individuals. Now, there are 2 sides to jealousy. If you feel jealous and you know you're not a jealous person, then you're with somebody that you don't trust. Now, some people don't trust themselves, and therefore they're jealous or accusational toward people that aren't doing anything wrong, right? They're just like, they're so insecure that they don't want their person to even go to work. They don't want them to go do anything outside of them, because they need that control, because they're so insecure, because they're so operating out of a shadow aspect. Now, if you know that you're a confident person and you're like, why do I feel jealous? If you're someone who's accountable for that, and you look at that and go, I'm not a jealous person. I want my person to go have experiences outside and have hobbies and interests and have a whole work life that they flourish in and they rise up in. But I am like, I feel skeptical. I feel suspicious. I feel like jealous. I don't like this. Then, and you talk to them about it, you should be with somebody that you can express that with. But if you feel like you can't express it with them, that's your first indicator you're with the wrong person. And maybe somebody's going through that, or just came out of that with the 3 of Wands, that they were in some sort of connection where somebody was very jealous. And it leaked out in little passive aggressive ways. It could have been overt, where it was just like, let me see your phone. And that's the thing. Like, if you need, I mean, it's good to like have the password to your person's phone or whatever. So like, if there's an emergency, you can access numbers or whatever. Like, but if you feel the need to have access to somebody's, it's like, people should be able to have, like, maybe somebody journals. That's very old school, but somebody could like journal. Or maybe that's, again, writing lists or journaling affirmations. There could be something deep rooted that you will be able to get out through journaling, maybe to keeping a dream journal, because your person is trying to contact you in the 5D, in the astral plane. Yeah, with the 8 of Wands, it's like somebody's saying kind of like, hurry up. I don't want to rush you, but hurry up. 9 of Swords, wounded warrior. Yes, somebody's been really wounded in love, in the heart space, in their travels. But then, sorry, baby. Did I scare you? Oh, there's a big stretch. My big freckle butt. The 9 of Swords here, though, it's not chaotic, right? It's like a series of unfortunate events. Capricorn energy. Jim Carrey. And that's also like JC. The Cross. Yeah, somebody could have been like verbally crucified all the time for just being who they are, for speaking their truth, right? And they are in this Christ consciousness. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of not good energy in the past. But we have the Six of Cups, King of Cups. We've got like good, solid energy coming in with the cups. But I do get this kind of like, huzzah, this like freedom, like friends who are just, you need to get out of that. Like, why do you keep giving your energy to that? They hear your person expressing, or they have heard your person expressing things, leaking little bits of information out about how they're discontent in their connection or connections of the past. And their friends are just like, you deserve so much better. Family members are like, you deserve so much better. Why do you give to this? Why? And they're like, you're free. Finally, let's all cheers to that. Rihanna. That's not the tune at all, but the song cheers to that. Or drink to that. No, it's cheers to that, right? Anyway, and she is, what is she? What is Rihanna's sign? Oh my gosh, my nose is going crazy. Warrior of Blades. So that is the Page of Swords, or the Knight of Swords, excuse me. But somebody is watching, waiting for the right window to come in and offer this Ace of Pentacles. So you both are in this Ace of Pentacles. You've realized your worth, you've realized your value. You're like, I'm done giving to that. I'm done giving to less than I am. Because I am abundant. I am worthy. I am great. Somebody really did not speak very kindly about themselves for a long time. So that is what you need to do, is start speaking kindly about yourself. Talk to yourself like you would talk to your best friend, like you would talk to a child, right? And maybe you weren't shown how to be kind to yourself. Because again, it's like you grew up in an environment possibly where you might have been bullied by those closest to you. Corn Maiden. That's the 2. One second. I'm going to find out what this is because I do this every time. Okay. Corn Maiden is the High Priestess. All right. So more Piscean energies, third eye. Again, something about your dream works. Again, with the kids movies. Getting like kids movies or something nostalgia. And then the Queen of Swords flipped. Well, she's kind of slid out because I ran into the table when I got in the chair. And all the cards went, ooh, and like shuffled around. So something is very much like a tower. Something trying to rock your boat, Aaliyah. Rock the boat, work the billow, work the billow. Motion for me. Is that the word? Motion for me? Motion for me tells me like action. Show me something. Show me some action. Because I'm on shaky ground here. Feeling a little wobbly. You could be experiencing like dizzy spells, or like maybe you experience vertigo. I'm getting like blurred vision, or not astigmatism. I mean, maybe you have astigmatism, but there's something with like, what is that? Is it nystagmus? I don't know what the word is. I can't think of the word, but it is also Identity, the movie Identity. So where the eyes bounce, that could be a side for you. You could see somebody with that. You or your person could have that. You could just be feeling like, somebody could have, just issues with the eyes. We'll just leave it at that. Somebody could have issues with the eyes. And you're having them because, check everything with your doctors. I'm not a doctor, yada, yada. Use your own discernment. But spiritually speaking, if you have like a twitch in your eye, it's like there's some sort of wisdom that's trying to access you, some sort of information, and it's like, stop focusing through these eyes, these little eyes. Look through this big eye, right? So there's a need to maybe like, I mean, if you do have like a twitching eye, that's usually fatigue, you need to rest. Rest your eyes, dip into your dreams, right? Maybe listen to some frequencies. Set up your bedroom. Make sure your bedroom is clean, dark, however you like it, right? But if you have your TV playing, or if you have a lot of electronics in there, like look into feng shui possibly about the bedroom. Maybe you need to rearrange, clean, and set that space so that it's like a nice, nurturing womb-like experience, so that you are able to access the 5D, because it's like your person is trying to they're trying to speak to you. Corn. There's like 2 stalks of corn in a desert. Yeah, it's like, and the high priestess is, Pisces is water. And this Pisces, this high priestess is out in the middle of the desert with only 2 corn stalks. It's like, this is very dry. Look at that corn. Have you like ever eaten a spoonful of cornmeal or some really dry cornbread or something? It's like, ugh, oh my gosh, I feel like I need some water. This is someone with heavy water placements that is dehydrated. I mean, on that note, I'm going to, 3131. You're mirroring each other so closely. You could have water in your moon sign, you or your person. You're mirroring each other. That's Cancerian energy. It is the moon. It is also Pisces being ruled by the moon. Maybe your Neptune placements, you share the same Neptune placements or like similar planetary placements. But particularly the moon, particularly Cancerian energy. Let's pull one more from the feminine. There she be, Queen of Cups. And the Knight of Wands. Action, action. That is action. Now, because this Knight of Wands is confirming the King of Cups, we're good, right? If it were just the Knight of Wands, it's like, that may not be something substantial. But we've got the Six of Cups. We've got some solid soulmate energy here. And that soulmate is connection. That's water. You feel so connected to this person and you really can't explain why. You just know. It's just like, I don't know. We just get each other. We just understand each other on a heart level, right? We'll pull one from these. Six of Swords, that's the rescue, and death. There's that ending scorpionic energy. Something about a Taurus, which is the polarity sign. This person could be your polarity sign. But it like your twin is essentially your other half, right? But see how this figure here is like cradling the head of this like bull skeleton. And it's in like a ring. That's something like a matador. Like maybe somebody like has to sacrifice a part of themselves. So I'm getting like a matador who suddenly, I don't know, realizes whatever they were doing, like, this is actually incredibly cruel. I need to stop doing this. Now, as a vegan channel, yeah, we don't support that shit because it's fucking disgusting. It's such an archaic way of being. Like so many things in this world. But particularly in love, I feel like somebody was operating out of a shadow version, a shadow aspect of themselves. And that's why they were attracting shadow aspects of themselves, because it was like they were just doing this. And I feel like someone could have strong Taurus placements, but there's something with the bull here, which is like, I feel like there's like, I'm sorry it took me so long. Like they almost feel like, oh, like they feel like they're kind of slowly killing their person the longer that they take to get there. All right, we got a little bit of time. It's only 35 minutes. I'm going to read on that. Strength, Leo energy, death, 13, 4. Yeah, it's like someone could have been entertaining third-party situations. So 13 is 4, but if you split them, somebody's in the 1 energy, that's very solitary energy. They've been working on filling themselves up, balancing themselves all by themselves. Very solitary. That's that loneliness. And then we have the 3, which is like someone who's entertaining third-party situations, something where there's always a barrier between them coming, some external influence that they've allowed to influence the 2, right? The 2 is the coming together. It is that Gemini energy. It's the union. It's 11. And so 4, somebody can be a life path 4, but the 4 is like 4 of Wands. It's the 4 of Cups, the 4 of Pentacles. It's like sorrow in the feminine, or withholding, or guarded energy, or not being satisfied, dissatisfaction in the feminine energy. And then it's, contemplative, balancing, meditation, rest in the 4 of Swords. And then the 4 of Wands is the divine union. So I'm getting like somebody, this behavior has kept you two separate from coming into that 4, coming together. And I just feel like this masculine feels like sorrow for having made this feminine wait so long. And now Taurus, we just did the reading for that. That could also be the Hierophant, right? This is a very spiritual person who is in their 4D energy. That is the Taurus is the Hierophant is the 4D being. It's the spiritual leader. And it's like, it's somebody who wants matrimony, who wants marriage, essentially. And it's like, they're too late. I'm getting the Little Mermaid, where Ursula's like, "You're too late," some trifling ass hoe is in the way. That's what I get. There's like some other feminine influence here. That makes me so sad. 6 of Wands and the 7 of Wands. Oh, 5 of Pentacles. Left out in the cold. Chariot. 2 of Swords. And the Empress. Okay. Oh, Injustice. Okay, so there's that karmic cycle. Somebody is realizing, like, I always get like a jump rope, right? Dun, 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 dun. She rocks in the treetops all day long, huffing and a puffing and a singing this song. All the little birdies on Jaybird Street love to hear the robin going tweet, tweet, tweet. Something about Robin. Aunt Robin in, what is her name? Colby. How I Met Your Mother. Colby. Something about that show could be important to you. Maybe her zodiac sign. I know I just looked it up and I already forgot it. But she is so beautiful, and I was watching her in Safe Haven. So something about Safe Haven, and that's that 6 of Swords coming in for the rescue. It's the Chariot. And then we have this feminine and the 2 of Swords. They don't see this coming. So that death could be the energy of the feminine, like really losing hope. Like they're not gonna, my one and only love, I've been lonely long enough. Like they feel like, they just feel like time is running out. Like they're not, their masculine's never going to show up. But they're feeling in that 5 of Pentacles, that lack, that left out in the cold. Lots of sorrow on the feminine side. But the masculine is here with the Chariot. And it's like they're coming in to surprise this feminine. The feminine doesn't even see this. See, she's got this blindfold on. She doesn't even see this. And then we've got Justice, Libra, and Empress, more Libra, and then Taurus energy there. But it's like this masculine is coming in to reset, to bring balance into this connection. To bring balance once and for all. To settle the score. Yeah, I feel like you both have been with scorekeepers. People who kept score, tit for tat, competition. Ugh, I don't like that energy at all. The Lovers and the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, this mofo is taking forever. They're taking forever. But that's just a false perception of time because you're looking at a clock. You're looking through your little human eyes, not this eye. When you look at this, when you look through your third eye, feminines, right? That when you access that Piscean Neptune energy, when you maybe decalcify your pineal gland, right? And that's also getting the blue light out, like reducing all the synthetic light and maybe getting out into the sun, right? Getting out of bed, especially if you are struggling with any sort of like parasites or like low energy, right? We are electromagnetic beings. We need to get electrons from the sun and we need to magnetize with the earth. So it's like, go put your bare feet on some ground in the sunshine. Like, do that for 10 minutes. 10 measly minutes, feminines or masculines. And you will just, you'll get as much knowledge as you need to get. You'll gain 10 minutes in the sun and tapped into Mother Earth. Like, you've got the masculine and the feminine energy there, right? The ultimate fire element, the sun. And then you've also got the earth, the ultimate feminine energy, right? Mother Earth. And then we've got the Lovers here. So this is that Gemini energy. It's the 6. It's agape love. It's the soulmate energy. You're coming together. And see, this masculine is like, I get like Zelda. That flute, I got that in yesterday's reading, I think. But and then the feminine's like, oh, what's up? Calling her in. She actually kind of looks like she's kind of side-eyeing this masculine. But who knows what she's thinking there. Let's see what she's thinking there. Dang, man. What's taking you so damn long? But see, this masculine's like hanging from the tree branch. Right? They're hanging upside down, taking their sweet ass time. Like, this masculine can feel it though. They can feel the time's a ticking. Hurry up. Hurry up. Come on. Like, nobody likes to be rushed, but this guy is just like, come on. Do something. And so here it's like this masculine is finally getting right side up. They're bringing balance into their own karmic cycle. They're coming out of just waiting, which is a more active energy. And there's something about music here that's very important. And it's like that music represents the frequency, right? The frequency of the emotions. That's why music is so attractive. That's why musicians are so attractive, because they can just access your emotions right away. Music just taps right into that. It's unspoken. You don't need anything but a drum, a whistle. Like, someone could be whistling. Maybe they're not actually playing a flute. They're whistling. And that feminine, you could just be like, and you hear them like, huh? And it's like I was getting bird calls in yesterday's reading. Someone could do like bird sounds or bird noises or something. Again, we have the robin here, the jaybird. And so these birds here could be significant, where it's like you see a robin, you hear a robin call, or a jaybird, you hear or see a jaybird. Hunger Games. Something about food is important here. So you could be dealing with a Taurus or Cancer. Again, that Cancerian chariot energy. Someone could just be like, let's go get some food. Let's go get some food. And that little could also be like a ringtone, because they're calling you. And the feminine, the way that I'm like cracking up over this feminine. She's just, the way she's looking is like, I don't know. There could be some suspicious skepticism. Like, yeah, I'll go out with you, but I'm not sure how I feel about it. We'll see. I'll give you a chance. So if this is a reconnection, or, you know, something in this 3D incarnation, you might be like, oh, we'll see. I'll give them a chance. I'll see what they have to offer. If it's anything different than they offered before. Or this could just be your first time interacting with this person with that soulmate energy. It is past love with the 6. It could just be that you're like, oh, I've just dealt with so many masculines, and I'm just gonna have to watch. And that is perfectly okay. Not only is it okay, it is highly recommended that you use your discernment. You take your time, feminines. Now you might be in a place where you're like, I've been waiting so long, like, and you could also kind of feel a little bit of like a grudge, more Pisces energy. You could feel a little bit of a grudge towards this person. Like, yeah, you took so long and you made me deal with all these freaking idiots out here. But, okay, yeah, I'll go get some food with you. Just because, you know, you're accessing my Taurus or Cancerian placements and I like food. Someone could be a foodie here. Capricorn energy as well. You or your person can have strong Capricorn placements. This could be somebody that you know through work, or that you are planning to work with, right? Like you're going to, that's what all the twin flames are doing. They're all coming together to be some sort of power couple in one area or another based on their chart, based on their elements, their strong leading elements. That is, and their life path. You add all the numbers in your full birth date, and that will give you your life path. And then you can figure out, you know, or just get some insight into like why things have happened in your life. So somebody could be getting their chart read, or like just discovering that. Some of you know, I did not actually know my birth name because my birth name, my birth time, somebody's birth name, something about that could be important here. I did not know my birth time because my birth certificate was revised, because I did have name changes. So a legal name change, legal, not illegal. Someone could have an illegal name change. I don't know what that's about, but something about your birth certificate could be important here. So I did not know that I was actually a Leo rising until I had been reading tarot for, I don't know, 3 or 4 years. And then, you know, so I'm reading for other people and I kept attracting all of this Leo energy, so yeah, this person, your person could like share something commonality with their same sex with your parent that is their same sex gender, right? So your feminine or masculine parent. Now, like for instance, like my biological father was a Leo, so I thought, oh, I'm attracting all these Leos because of my daddy issues or something. No. I'm a Leo rising, and we attract people and experiences and things that relate to the major arcana into our life so that we can sort out those shadows that are in our different placements, and that way we can hone those things as skills, and they're not a detriment because they're not unseen anymore. We bring light to them through the Hermit, through the Virgo process of self-evaluation, self-inventory, self-analysis, very mutable energy, which is Gemini energy. And so when we go through that process, then we can say, oh, I'm getting all this Pluto interference, you know, and you don't necessarily have the words for what that is, but once you know your chart, once you understand that and you look at it, you're like, oh, that's why I went through that during that time, because it was meant to be, because the time that I was born, the day, the time, the year, everything that I was born, where I was born, that's what the planets were doing, and that was part of my destiny. It was fated for me to experience these certain things so that I could rise up, alchemize from all of those shadows, and become the magician, which the Empress and the Emperor are both magicians. They are both divine alchemists because they are the elementalists, which is the 4. So yeah, there's a lot of confirmation that can be found just by discovering who you are, maybe taking like a Myers-Briggs test, finding out what your love language is, right? It's like asking all of the questions, and it's not that, some people want to like remain a mystery to themselves, and they're like, I don't want to know all that stuff. Well, that's up to you. Like free will. But I find that the more you know about yourself, it just confirms what you already know. Like it'll just make sense of things that maybe didn't make sense before. And the worst case scenario is you just have some information, and if you're like, oh, that didn't really like open major doors or enlighten me in any major way, maybe it doesn't right now and it will later, or maybe it never does, and you're just like, oh, now I just know a little fun fact about myself. It's not the end of the world one way or another. I don't know why. I'm just getting someone who maybe is reluctant to look into that, or they're just like, I'm not sure if I believe in that. If you're not sure you believe in it, then why are you here? Huh? Why have you been listening to this for 50 seconds? 50 minutes and 51 seconds. 51. That was weird. Anyway, now it's 51 minutes. Anyway, hopefully there was something in here for you, collective. Thank you for bearing with me through this congestion. I'm wishing all of you well. Yep. Until next time.